What's up, Sooner Surge maniacs? I'm late. Okay, first off, Chester, there's two people on here. It's not just Germ Show. As much as all you
Apparently,
guys would
apparently,
like,
Jeremy.
as
Apparently,
much as all you
I'll get
guys
off
would
here. You
like
have a
it to
good
be
night.
Germ Show, it's not. So,
Jerm, have a good night. I'm out. Just kidding.
thanks for being on here, everybody. It's Thursday. Big
And
week.
listen, we were late because I was ripping into Hunter just now. So sorry about that.
We were arguing before this even started, guys. That's why.
Sorry, it was a stupid take. Moving on.
Hey, anyway, Love's Field is opening tomorrow at 2:00.
Correct.
How many people are taking off work to go to that game is my question.
I wish.
Hey, the venue is unbelievable, Jay.
And by the way, for everybody wondering, because I know there will be a lot of people wondering about that, the opening type ceremony and everything starts at 11. It's going to be televised on Sooner Sports. So tune into that. It'll be on there. It's going to be awesome.
Do people want me to – Chester, do you like Rage Mode better?
People like your Rage Mode.
Wow.
Yeah, Toby's on the call. Mark's working from home tomorrow.
What do you think about Toby being on the call? Is that a disservice to Plank?
Plank's on the radio call. I do. Here's the thing. They do it because Toby's the voice. Toby's the
Not
voice.
of softball, though.
Not of softball. Plank's on the radio. I know. I mean,
Plank is the softball guy.
What about the name Patty's Palace? I think they should call it Patty's Palace.
That's good. All I know is I want to know who's going to get the first bomb. I'm going with Jada Coleman leadoff.
I'm going Brito.
Leadoff bomb.
Brito
Jonathan
bomb.
says I keep it real, Jay. I love it.
Keep it real, Germ. Keep it real.
Thank you, Jonathan. I try. I try.
Mark says slap in the face to Plank.
I thought so a little too. I mean, he's kind of been the voice of softball for a while. But I'm sure Plank and T-Row are super close.
Oh, yeah. There's no issues there.
There's no hard feelings at all. Plank's still on the radio call. So, hey, Jay, just the seating areas they have up around the places, the scoreboard is unbelievable.
The scoreboard's ridiculous.
Unreal. No night game tomorrow.
Hey, let me ask you this. Is there a chance tomorrow they struggle? Because
zero.
Of all the stuff surrounding it.
You think Keeney pitches against her former team?
Oh, and I think she does. I don't know if she starts or not. Mark, this would be epic. And I think somebody needs to throw it out there as an idea. Home run derby with the alumni. Get Allo out there and do a home run derby. That'd be sick.
Hey,
they would they would sell out a home run derby, would they not?
They'll sell out a shoe tying convention. Come on, Jay. Let's tie shoes in the Love's Field. Everyone will show up. Hey, OU women's basketball.
Wait, Miss, hang on. Stop talking for a second. Jay always betting against OU. Why did I bet? When did I say they're going to lose? I simply asked a question. Sometimes, here's the problem. Sometimes when I play devil's advocate and I say, and not even my opinion, I said, do you guys think? Throwing it out as a scenario. I never once said I think they are going to struggle. Did I say that?
I always just say my opinion. I don't really care what other people say. But, yep, sell out a three-legged race at Love's Field. And listen, Jenny Baranczyk and what's happening at OU basketball is, I'm going to say it right now, they have a legitimate shot, Jay, of a Final Four this year. Legitimate shot.
Yeah.
If they're hitting the outside shot with Skylar Bain coming back and being healthy, I tell you what, they better pay her because Iowa will be calling if Iowa's coach ever leaves.
Hey, Chester, there's a difference between me and Jeremy. I have to be provoked. Jeremy can just rant on something for no reason at all. So
it's funny. First off, Jay's rant is never better than mine. Okay.
Oh, whatever.
They're falsely concocted and fabricated. It's an attempt to try to be a ranter. Okay. Mine are natural and organic. Mine's like the Whole Foods rant, and Jay's like the
Stop.
Walmart Dollar
Stop.
General special
Hey,
rant, okay?
Hunter says Clark declared that Caitlin Clark did declare to the WNBA. I kind of surprised.
What? Surprised?
I was kind of surprised. She's making good money in college. I mean,
she'll make more in the WNBA, Jay.
I know, but WNBA, I mean,
she can't do anything else in college. She's got all the records.
Well, she could win a national championship.
They probably will this year.
No, Stanford, I think.
You never know, Jay.
South Carolina.
You never know.
South Carolina, I mean. LSU could be Mulkey again.
Please no.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter's ranted before. Hunter's best rant was calling out every official by name a couple of years ago after an OU loss.
Jet
by
says
name.
OU 51 odds to win the SEC.
Yeah.
What's up, Joseph? How are you tonight? Thanks for joining
us through Facebook.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Hey, winter workouts, man. Did you see PG Atabari put it up on the rack today? Oh yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
It was impressive, Jay.
Oh yeah.
Very impressive.
That's right.
A lot of people on here said they went and watched the Venables interview on Breakdown, which I did as well. And someone said, yeah, how can you not root for the guy? I think everyone's rooting for the guy, and I think he's the guy. So,
yeah, Dalpost is the one that said that earlier. All you guys do a great job. Senior Star Girls, hit the like button. Dalpost is the one that said that about BV's interview, and appreciate that, Dalpost. Yes, good, great interview. And I'll say this: there are sometimes. I mean, I watched the Breakdown pretty steady. Okay, a lot of times there's things I love about their show. Sometimes stuff I disagree with. I think they're a good podcast and they're very informative. And the thing is, they are very connected. So for them to be able to get Brent Venables like that, it's great. And Brent, I think Brent Venables, when interviewed by Teddy Lehman and Eichert, former players, I think he gives you a little bit more than maybe some other interviews. Does that make sense?
Oh, well, I just think that's who Brent Venables is. But Braden, you're right. It's going to be a fun day at Love's Field tomorrow. I can't wait to see all the festivities around it. Jay.
Gary.
Wait, I know you want to get to it. Just a second, Jay.
Sorry.
Just a second. Michael Hammond says Brent nailed every deficiency OU has. And listen, this is the difference, everybody. This is the difference between Brent Venables and the former coach.
He can say the deficiencies. Is that it?
He addresses the issues and says, here's what we're doing moving forward. All the former coach used to say was we're close. And for anyone who wants to sit here and say Lincoln Riley was it, you're idiotic. There.
Okay, and let's get to Gary's question, because, Gary, this is actually the reason why we were 1 or 2 minutes late today. I sent this in the group chat. I haven't sent it to Discord yet. I need to send it over there to get everybody's thoughts on it. I'll do that after the live tonight. If you're not an unlimited member, get signed up, join the Discord. We'll have all this info for you. Put that in the tweet. I'd love to see that in there and see what you guys think unlimited members. But we were arguing about this when the show started. And one big disagreement I have on the depth chart they put out there, overall, pretty good on the 2 deep, I think, what they put out. I disagree with Peyton Bowen not starting. I think Peyton Bowen needs to be a starter. That's one. Number two, I think Grayson Halton is really good. I don't think he's got a chance. I don't think there's any chance he's starting, though, guys. I don't think there's any chance he's starting day one. And
I do.
Over David Stone?
I think there's a chance he starts.
Okay, but Jeremy, what would make him start when last year he couldn't get on the field?
I had a problem
with field last year. Should he not have been?
I had a problem with him not getting on the field last year, Jay. Braden Warner, I think OU's hitting 6 bombs in 2 games, 3 each. Bobby, you say you're idiotic. Are you saying because I said that what did I say about Lincoln Riley? I said you're idiotic if you don't think that addressing the issues is much better than what Lincoln Riley did. And by the way, I think the other thing that I want to say is, Mez, Yeah, Jacob Lacey put it out. It's official now.
It is.
We can say it's official. That's why I didn't want to say it yesterday. I wanted Jacob Lacey to say it. He deserves that right.
Gary, what about Kinnick? Did you not like? By the way, Jet, did BV say this in his interview that he's not giving up calling plays? Or
No, what BV said, Jet, was I still want to be very involved with the defense. That's where I'm at. That's what I know. But he also said, but I got to be involved in all areas. I didn't hear that he's giving up the defensive. I didn't hear that he's not giving up some of the duties. Yeah, 2022, he was hands off. That's right. Last year, he was more hands on, I believe. So, look, I'm going to say that Grayson Halton can easily have a chance to start. He didn't say what, Ricky? Ricky, are you saying he didn't say what I said, or are you saying he didn't say what the viewer said? Because Gary, I would be surprised if Lewis is ahead of Kennett too. Yeah, I know Jay's not, but I am.
I don't understand what the argument is there and why y'all would be surprised. Why would you be surprised if Kip Lewis is over Kinnick?
Then how would you be surprised if Halton's ahead of Stone? That makes no sense.
Kip Lewis played good last year, quite a bit.
So did Halton when he played.
Jeremy, the number of snaps Halton had is not even comparable to Lewis, dude.
Halton played well within his end. Stone hasn't played. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not Barry Pixie does if Halton plays.
And there's the answer. Jonathan's dead on 100% correct on all this.
Yes, I agree.
They both need to play a lot. You know who both needs to play a lot? David Stone and Grayson Halton. You know who else needs to play a lot? Kip Lewis and Jaron.
Yes.
And here we are again. We're talking about Will linebacker versus Mike linebacker.
I agree. Jay.
Okay, Dalpos. He says, I think BB's motto is unless the younger player is significant upgrade, he stays with the experience. Okay, but I'm very confused a little bit by that because so you're going to stay with the experience like Trace Ford over PJ Adebawore?
No. They're saying if the guy doesn't look like he'll pan out. I don't know, Chester and Mez, what do you mean these guys don't understand what? Kip and Kinnick?
What happened?
Are we talking about Kip and Kinnick?
I
do know this.
We don't understand the Will. We don't understand the Will and Mike is what they're saying.
I understand the difference in positions, but also know guys can change positions in the spring if they really want to. If the coaches want them to.
Hunter,
I'm not saying they are, but
what about the depth chart we're talking about that Mainline Podcast put out? Did they not have Danny Stutzman and Kobe McKenzie as Danny Stutzman's backup, and then Kinnick and Will and Kip Lewis as the other one?
I thought we were talking about that podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
Podcast that put a depth chart out. You said
that's what I said. Mainline Podcast.
I haven't looked at the depth chart
together.
Yeah, so Danny and Kobe were listed at the Will.
Correct.
Which means Kinnick and
Kip would be fighting out for the other one.
That's what they had. I'm not saying they're right because I don't follow them. I don't know anything about Mainline Podcast.
I just threw it out there. I saw it on Twitter, okay? And listen, I'm going to say this again, okay?
I'm going to say that Blake's ridiculous. You're ridiculous, Blake.
Let me say this again. I could care less. I know this probably is a stupid statement. Y'all will probably rip me for it. I could really care less. Will, Mike, whatever. Play your two best linebackers, period. I don't care where they play. If it's Danny Stutzman and Kip Lewis, play them. If it's Danny Stutzman and Jaron Kinnick, play them. Why do
I agree with you?
Will and Mike? Will put your guys in the best two positions and play them.
If I have two studs that need to be on the field 80% of the time, then I'm playing one at the Will and the other in Mike. I don't care where they were. Mess, I get it. I get that.
That would be what my start. That would be where I would play him.
But I think Kinnick will be the Will
over Kip Lewis. Or
I
you
think Kennick's going to make the jump, Jay.
We'll see. I mean,
Tom Ward struggled significantly.
yes. And Mess, you're right. He played both. And he can.
Jay, what's going on here?
I don't know why we keep flipping side. We're like portaling, dude. I don't get it.
Is Hunter doing that?
I don't know what's going on, bro.
Hey, Jay, I'm saying Kip could play both. Guys can do two things. This isn't rocket science.
Well, but ideally, you'd want them to be stuck in a position so they know it better. And I agree with this.
Are
I
we
agree
lagging,
with
Jay?
I'm not.
Viewers,
I agree with
viewers.
Lewis.
Viewers, are we lagging? Can you hear us? Okay.
We're rotating like Stutzman. Hey, I agree. Lewis is smaller for a linebacker. I would agree with that.
That's why I would rather see Kennick.
Hey, let me ask you.
It must be Hunter that's lagging.
Let me ask you this question. I know he's smaller. Is he too small to play Cheetah?
Who?
Kip Lewis.
They're not going to move in there is the problem.
No, but what I'm asking is, could he have played that position?
I don't know, Jay.
They also had on this depth chart, they had McCullough starting over Harrington. What do you think about that?
Yes. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
I think Harrington's better. If he's healthy, I think he's better. Personally.
Yeah, and look.
This is all speculation and it's our opinion, whatever. We know nothing. We haven't even seen these guys practice this year, so.
Nope. And the Thunder going to lose to the lowly Spurs. Neither started Cheetah, so who? Dolby?
I think Bobby's saying Dolby.
Yeah. What is the name for the Cheetah position? Because it's Cheetah, actually, but it's more of a linebacker position.
Chester Cheetah. Just ask Chester. Chester Cheetah. Yeah, Williams will start at corner if he's healthy. Question is, will he be healthy?
That's the question.
Bobby says Dolby.
And Chester, I agree that Dolby was probably the best Cheetah last year. But we didn't see Harrington much. Harrington was good when he played.
Jeremy, you would be glad to know that this mainline podcast, they did have Trace Ford not in any of the two deep spots.
Well, there must be smart guys then.
What do you think about Woolard, by the way?
I'm starting to think he's going to play a little more, but.
Hey, Mess, I think Harrington's elite if he's healthy. I think he was going to have an amazing year last year. He just got injured. I think he was going to be really good.
I agree. Jet says it was called Roy.
Yeah, Roy Williams, basically, it's that position.
Yeah. I mean, whatever it's called, that needs to be – they have so many options there.
Here's the thing. Do you think Roy Williams was good in coverage?
He was slightly above average.
Yeah.
He was a safety, though. He wasn't a corner, Jay.
He played the Cheetah-type position, really.
Gentry was really good last year when healthy. Yes.
It was the SMU game. Correct. It was the SMU game. That's correct. That is correct.
Jay, trivia last night of the
leap year trivia. I got
leap year. Drop us with the standings right now.
2 points on the line tonight, boys. 2 points.
As we check, is it already wrapped up?
There was a pretty good sized lead by, I can't remember who it was. Somebody was in the lead. Let's check it out here. But the trivia tonight's going to be worth 2 points. Okay, and I think it's pretty easy. There's the trivia. Bobby with not Dow Post could catch him if he gets both of these. So Bobby better be on it. But here's the deal: 2 points available. All I want to know tonight.
Wait. You said Bobby can catch him. Bobby's in the league.
Dow Post can catch Bobby. Sorry.
Okay.
2 points available tonight. Here we go. Last year's opening game for college football. I want to know first 2 touchdowns of the season. Who were they for Oklahoma? First 2 touchdowns of the year for Oklahoma. Who were they? You get an 8 point for each
Basically,
one.
it's Bobby against the field. If anyone in the, I mean, it's Dalpost against the field because if anyone else gets it, Bobby wins.
Yeah, correct.
Watch Dalpost get this.
Freeman is one. That's right. Jonathan got one of them. Who's the other one? You can't count DG as a touchdown pass. I'm not counting it. It's got to be who caught it. Stoops is the other one. Stoops caught the pass. Freeman got the punt. So there it is. 2 points. And your champion, Bobby Wiley, for the month of February. Good job, Bobby. And good job, Jonathan and Jay, tonight getting the trivia. I guess I could have given 3 points because DG did throw it, but I don't count that. Do you?
It would have been irrelevant because Bobby Wiley still would have won.
Bobby still would have won. So congrats, Bobby, on the month of February winner. Appreciate it. As always. How about Freeman, man? Had that punt return. That dude was legit that first game. Thought, man, this guy's going to have a great year.
Big things, Jay. Big things change. Did you hear in the interview, and I thought this was very interesting, BB talked about special teams, and it was interesting because he basically said everything's open. And he said something about Freeman. He said, we got to take care of the ball. There's some things that have to happen. We've got to take care of the ball better. We've got to get some returns. But then he mentioned Schmidt too. He said, Schmidt will be back. Schmidt's got to be better. But then he mentioned Liam Evans and the other guy from Florida State. So sounds like it's an open race.
Is it?
I said it sounds like.
Is it?
I would like to think it is, Jay, but it may not be.
It needs to be. In fact, most positions, other than a handful, it's pretty open. I mean, you look at offensive line, it's wide open. Okay? Wide open.
Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Jonathan mentioned Burks, Jay. You still think that Farouk's starting over Burks, so.
I think Farouk will start. Yes. I don't do it. Would I start Farouk? I would start Burks. You didn't ask me what I thought. You asked me what I think is going to happen. Okay? Don't get into this again.
He did mention both of them, Ron. He mentioned both. But, hey, and here's the thing. I agree with Mez. I was just getting ready to say this. Here's the thing. I think he's going to be totally out of special teams.
Well,
this dude,
do you?
No, yes, this dude, Doug Deacon, is proven. Leave the rip alone. Let him ride. Let him cook over there. Do his own thing. All BV should do with special teams is this. Go for it. Kick. Punt.
Hey, I agree with that, but Jeremy, I think that's what he needs to be doing in general on game days, even for defensive wise. I don't think Brent Venables needs to be on the sideline talking to individual players throughout the game. I think now that you got Zach Alley, maybe he can be more of a CEO.
You're the head coach. You can do whatever the heck you want.
I know you can do whatever you want, but I think more of a CEO would be better. Do you not?
Well, yeah, and you still got to go talk to people as a CEO when things aren't good.
I don't mean you can't go talk to him. Why do you think you take things so literally, dude?
Ron, jeez. Yes, he mentioned Schmidt by name and Freeman. Poncho Jack, 19. I think Jada's hitting a bomb to start the game because that's what OU does. I'd love to see a no-no in the first game.
Brito and Jennings for me.
I can. Mark says Parker and Hanson. That can be true as well. There's so many up and down that line, but sick.
There's going to be history.
Sick.
There's going to be history made tomorrow when somebody hits the first blast out of the Patty's Palace, and I think it's going to be Brito. Yeah, Jet, you're 100% correct, Jet. He might He might go rip into him, but he's not over there. Really just spending a lot of time over there with them. Right?
Hey, burrito bombs are unlike any other bombs.
Hey, let me ask you this. Why, and this is, I think, is a very good question to ask. Why is it coaches like Kirby Smart, I would even say Lanning last year, okay, some of these guys that are great defensive coaches and defensive minds, when they get to be a head coach, you don't see them coaching defense as much. Why? Is it because, let me ask you this, is it because of Brent Venables did not have trust in Ted Roof? I think that's it. One.
Partly.
I think Ted Roof, awful hire for Brent Venables to start his career at Oklahoma. Personally, I think it didn't work out. I think it was a comfortable hire to kind of change over and maybe teach guys the defense or whatever. It didn't work out, in my opinion. And you see other coaches, they get head coaching jobs and they don't coach the defense. So
I agree with you, Jay.
Where's that line up?
Jay, here's what I would say. You are correct with the Ted Roof thing. And I'm going to say this. What coaching tree does BV come from? Bill Snyder, Bob Stoops. Now, listen. I think one of the things. What?
Dabo Sweeney, too.
Okay. But one of the things I think he took from them is the loyalty play. And he's realizing that's not going to get you very far.
Loyalty as in hiring Ted Roof? Is that where you're going?
Yeah, and keeping him around. And he got rid of him. Ted Roof did not leave on his own. He realized he cannot continue like this.
Hey, and Jimmy, listen, let me make something very clear. I look at it as this: take away football out of it. Say it was a different job, and he was kind of overseeing things, the visionary. Okay, I like that for BV. Be the visionary of the team. Your defense, what you want to run. Your offense, what you want to run. Your overall of it. But you can't be. I don't think you can be a head coach and be a defensive coordinator.
No.
Now, can you be a head coach and an offensive coordinator? I personally don't think so. I don't think many of them succeed very much. Look at Lincoln Riley. He's called good plays, but has he won championships? Name a guy that calls offense or defense that's won a championship. Go.
Can't think of any. Ryan Day hasn't yet.
Name one. I'm asking.
I don't know, Jay.
I mean, did Malzahn win one?
With Cam Newton, he did. No, he didn't win it. Gene Chizik won that.
Correct.
That was Gene Chizik.
And that's it, Mark. What do you
Jimbo.
want to do? You're right, Mark. During the week, game planning, get in there and figure stuff out. Game day, no.
Jimbo's it, Jay. Michael's right with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Jameis Winston. That's a good. Who said that?
Michael. And
thanks,
Brent,
Michael.
I
that's
agree
right.
with you.
How long's that been? 10 years? And by the way,
during the week, I agree with that. Poncho, I'm going to say this weekend. I mean, May's going to start tomorrow, first game. She has to.
And Bobby says, yeah, I agree with May. May's going to start. Bobby says Urban Meyer 2014. Here's what I'll say.
Did he call the plays?
I think he did. Hey, here's what I'll say is there's a fine line. And I think this is where you go from being a okay, good coach and maybe a good coach that wins 8-4 in the SEC and a coach that goes 10-2 and makes playoff. And it's this. You got to be somebody that can be hands-on during the week, but game time, you got to be able to delegate that stuff to your coordinators. And it's not an easy job, especially coming from somebody who's all he's done is been hands-on defensive coach. That's all he's done. He's never been a head coach. So it's a totally mind shift, all of it. But I just don't think in this day and age, I don't think you can spend so much focus as calling plays on defense or offense and win a natty. I think it's too hard.
Yeah. Michael says Tom Herman was the
one thing I've always wondered, Jeremy, how would you feel? And I mean, you coach, so I don't know if this answer is, and then we'll get to Poncho's question here. As a coach, do you think players offensively last year ever felt like, man, I wish BV would pay attention to the offense? Do you think players get that way or not? Do you think they care what the head coach does?
No, they're locked in with the coordinators, Jay, and their position coach. That's who they're locked into.
That's what I'm wondering.
I
Hey,
know it's that because it's even that way in the track world. There's a head coach, and then you're locked in with your kind of position group coach.
hey, real quick before Poncho's question, I want to talk about FanStop for a minute, okay? Because we're starting a new month. Tomorrow's March, right? You need to get in before at least mid-March for the next month, sure. And so go to thefanstop.com, use code SURGE. When you do that, you'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Great looking shirts. Please go sign up for it. I'm not just saying it. I'm telling you, go do it. They're great shirts. New one every month. You never have to leave your house. It's awesome. It comes in the mail. It's great. So please go do that. This is a great idea, Mark. I love it.
I like this.
Maybe we start this month with Bobby.
I love this, Jay.
What?
I like that. Hey,
I love it, Mark.
Poncho, I'm going to surprise you with my answer. I'm going to say Dylan Keeney this weekend.
Dylan Keeney?
Yep.
Monty says May and Max will be the first 2 starters. I agree with that.
I agree, but I think Dylan Keeney are going to be
the last 2 games. Dylan has looked elite. So
amazing.
Hey, I agree, Jimmy. He needs to be on the field. I agree with you.
Yes.
Dude,
I'm tired tonight, man.
Man, where's your Red Bull or something? You haven't got a Red Bull in a while.
Yeah, every morning. Can't have 2 a day, though.
Why?
It's too much, man.
Really?
I think every pitcher is going to be elite. They're going to
probably Michael, there you go. Those are the 4. Those are the 4 right there, though.
They're going to get shutouts all weekend.
Hey, who do you think? We haven't seen them yet. We haven't seen the, the weigh-ins or whatever that they're going to do. But, who do you think, if you had to guess right now, who do you think's made the best jump in the weight room?
I'm gonna surprise you maybe a little here, Jay.
Okay.
Upper body, I think Deshaun McCullough has. He's had the scope on the knee. I think he's probably been hitting hard upper body. People won't like this answer. Gavin Freeman looks freaking.
He always looks like that.
He is swole.
Hey,
but PJ, I agree with Jonathan. I hope it's PJ.
Yeah, did you see that today? It was nothing, dude, for him to get that up. I mean, just nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin, I saw it, and I'm not going to lie, I was drooling. I mean, I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. Jeremy, you stole Tyree's answers.
Look, I know this. When you go through a leg injury, you can't do anything except work upper body a lot of times outside of rehab.
Who went through a leg injury?
Deshaun McCullough had a scope on his knee, I'm saying.
Oh, you're talking about McCullough. Yeah.
I think that dude probably is. And PJ,
hey, Tyree,
PJ has been.
Tyree, you don't need to apologize. I call him a jerk a lot, so no biggie.
Yeah.
He's used to
the
it.
difference is Tyree had a typo with autocorrect. You actually call me one, Jane. It's fine.
That's true. Oh, PJ chewing gum too. Dude, the guy's going to be unbelievable this year.
Tell me why he couldn't play last year, Jay.
Okay, this is out. Yeah, I agree, Mark. Colin, I love this question. Love
5 sacks.
What would be a good year for PJ?
5 sacks, and he should play 75% of the downs. That's a good year.
I think
5 sacks, 5 batted balls, play 75% of the downs. Good year.
I mean, you're talking 5 sacks. You're getting basically a sack every other game, every third game on some.
And a batted ball. Same thing.
That's not too much to ask for. Gary says 10 sacks.
Last year, Ford and Bothroyd had 0 sacks, and they played 90% of the plays.
I like that, Mark. SEC all-second team. Hunter thinks 75% is a lot.
75% for your best players is not a lot.
Yeah, but I think he's got to start, doesn't he? Him and Ethan.
Jay, think of it this way. I'm not great at math, but usually, let's say a team gets 70 plays against you. What's 75% of 70?
I don't do math very well.
Probably around 45 plays.
Hey, Hub, this would be great if we could get him on. I'll try. I'll try my darndest, but I don't know.
What's 75% of 75?
Jeremy, why are you asking me to do math at 10:30 at night, dude? Seriously? Hey, Poncho, I'm going to go with 2 runs this weekend.
I'm going 0. They're shutting every team out. So if he plays 52 of 75 plays, I don't think that's too much because you can rotate them on either side.
How many? Yes, Mark, 100% agree. Every passing down, 3rd down, he should be in.
Everyone agreed.
Tyree's asking how many interceptions will the end of the season next year will we have?
Probably about like last year. I think if you can have the same turnovers as last year, then I think you're going to be really, really improved on defense. And BB talked about this, Jay, and I don't know if Eric's on here right now, but BB talked about the improvements they made on defense. For people saying they didn't improve, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay, but what I'm saying is this. Anybody can throw stats out there, right? They did improve, yes. But I think where Eric and some people hold up is they improved, but you still had games where it was like, wow. I think it's the consistency of the improvement. You can't have games where you just all of a sudden forget how to play defense, man.
Jay.
What?
We're common fans.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I can watch him come out of the tunnel. PJ Adebawore should have played a lot more last year. Okay?
And what do you think about what Mark said? Because this was a lot of people's sayings last year.
They get batted balls. That's my thing. Look, if a team's going to go 2-step drop and throw it, fine. For me, the lack of batted balls is inexcusable on the defensive line because, I mean, you get off your block and you get your hands up if they're going to throw it out that quickly.
How good is Woolard, Cracker Mac says? I think Woolard, here's how I would compare Woolard.
He's better than what most people think he is. I'll say that.
He's better, and I think he's going to come in and be kind of like probably, I can see him kind of being like a Bothroyd.
Little better than Bothroyd.
Yeah, but something like that. That's kind of what I see.
I'll be in Columbia for that game.
You're right on the batting of the balls. If you know a team gets it out in under 2 seconds or less, then that should be on your mind that, hey, I'm not going to probably get to the quarterback. What else can I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in 2 seconds, they're throwing a quick pass.
And Tyree, you're right. This was the issue I had. Middle of the season, Brent Venables said, we got to get that guy on the field more. And it never happened.
And Eric, you're kind of making my point for me because I kind of agree with you on some of this. And the thing is this, it doesn't matter. And Eric, I know you threw stats in the Discord the other day, and I threw that last stat at you that said OU's points per game allowed last year was like 25.9, and the best that Grinch had was 23. It was right there with it. Here's the deal. The consistency on defense has not been good enough. You cannot look really good and then the next game play UCF and playing air out there. You're not stopping air. They're running all over you. They're throwing all over you. You cannot have games like that. Games like that cause you to lose to bad teams. Period.
Yeah, I agree. Consistency comes with time.
When you play bad teams, if you're a great defense making great strides, you should go out there and pretty much chokehold game over.
Consistency comes with time. And Mark, I agree. I like single digits on the jersey and something in the triple digit 300s on the weight and guts hanging out and the stuff in the middle and let the edges cook. Jay, if you go PJ, Downs, Woolard, Okoye, and R. Mason Thomas, that's pretty elite, I think.
Yeah, Eric, and you're right. Turnovers is a weird stat, I think, because
I'll sacrifice that if you can get other things better, more sacks.
I mean, the reality is OU was pretty good at tackles for loss again. They were ranked pretty high, right? That's 2 years in a row under BV. So that tells me they are getting tackles for loss. But last year, I think there was problems was even you'd get them in a second and long, they get a first down.
And Jay, I agree, but on the Kansas game, the defense got 2 turnovers in the last 4 minutes of the game.
I agree. The offense was a lot to blame in the game.
Had they won that game, had the offense stepped up and won, they might have went to the Big 12 championship game, and people might not even be talking about it.
It's a team effort. It's a combo. I agree with that. But I
complimentary football.
But I think also what everybody has on their mind was the end of the season when you play TCU and just get. I mean, that defense didn't look like the same defense, did it?
No, it didn't, Jay. The turnovers were bad second half of the year. I like the question of what do people from the outside think about this defensive line?
And what, Mark, this is an outstanding point. He says, I feel like we are too close to see how blessed we are going to be this coming. Here's what I'll say to that. I think if you take this power line, 2024 class on the defensive line, and if you were to put that on the Texas A&M or another team in the SEC, I think OU fans would be saying, man, they got a freaking good class coming in, right?
Yeah.
So it should be the same thing for Oklahoma. OU's got a freaking good class coming in on the defensive line. Now, what can they do on the field this year? We'll see. But we all talked about defensive line that Texas A&M had 2 years ago. How many of them guys really did much, though?
Yeah, I agree, Jay. Again,
that's the issue, is we'll see.
Again, we're going to go weeks and weeks and never mention Jaden Jackson in the last few weeks. Going to be special. Maybe this year.
Jaden Jackson may be the – I mean, between him and Stone, I think those two guys immediate impacts. I really do.
And Mez, you're right. We know they're top SEC talent because everyone was wanting them.
And here's the deal, and I'm going to say this. I've said it probably 2 weeks straight. If OU doesn't make a big jump defensively with this defensive line class and what they already have with PJ and some other guys and what they have coming back on the defense, I'll be concerned at the end of next year.
Jay, I've said that all the time, and you've ripped me saying they're not going to improve that much.
I haven't ripped you. What are you talking about?
I said they should be a top 25 defense.
And I said they should be.
You said that's a stretch.
No, I said they should be.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say they will be. I said
they definitely should be a top 25.
I have to see it to believe it, is what I said.
Well, yeah, I've got to see it to believe it too. But they should be on paper.
I'm holding everything because of what OU's experienced on defense over the last 10 years. It's hard for me to be, it's hard for me to be that positive. It just is. Yeah, can you imagine that, Mark? Some of these dudes, and I think another thing we were talking about maybe with Eric in the Discord is guys like David Stone. We talked about freshmen playing right away. I think it's different as a defensive lineman. Do you, Jeremy? I think as a 5-star defensive lineman, if you're cut out and your strength and conditioning's there, I think you can walk in and play.
Beat your man, Jay.
Let me ask you this, Jeremy.
Beat your man is what it comes down to.
Because
schematically, there's not a lot there. Beat your man.
We talked a little bit earlier about Grayson Halton and David Stone, right? And you're like, I don't think David Stone will start right away. Tell me a guy on the defensive line right now that you think's better, talented, and more physical than David Stone, other than John Terry.
I'm real high on Jaden Jackson.
Okay, but who do you think's better, David Stone or Grayson Halton?
I think Grayson Halton can be really, really special.
I'm just saying, when you got
was he a 5-star? No, Jay, he wasn't. Wasn't a 5-star. Stone is. I want to go to Eric's deal about where's David Stone in the 25 class. There is a guy, Jay, that OU's after. OU's after a really, really good D tackle.
Yeah, but there's nobody like David Stone. And
right. There isn't one in the class, though.
David Stone was the promised one. I mean, almost for Oklahoma. Was he not?
Yeah, there's not many David Stones every year. I mean.
And Hub, I'd have to look up. I don't know what it is now. He looked bigger in the last video I saw than he did out of high school already. So I don't know.
285, 290, Jay?
I would probably. I mean, I don't know what he's going to end up with Schmidt getting done with him this.
I'd like for him to get right at 300 myself,
but let me say something.
295 is good.
Let me say something. Todd Bates, when OU hired Todd Bates, what was your first thought?
Elite D tackles.
Okay. One. What else was your thought about development of the tackles? It would be elite, correct?
Yeah.
We're in year 3. We got a great class coming in. If the defensive line is not freaking really good, I'm going to be concerned, Jeremy. I am.
I am too, Jay. Hey,
and I honestly think the defensive line is where this whole defense rests on how good it's going to be next year. I do. I think you can take.
We know that, Jay. We all know that.
I know, but I just think OU knows that too. That's why they went and got that class. I mean, so,
I think Hub's right. If Stone gets to 290, he's starting. That's the weight he needs to start at, is 290.
Yeah, Jordan Davis wasn't as highly recruited. And Mess, you're exactly right, man. This is great. Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama tried to sign Stone, Jackson, Okoye, and Nigel.
And they didn't get him.
Okay, so who was it? Mark asking about the outsiders looking in. Listen, by recruiting, rankings, fans that follow recruiting, people are jealous of OU's defensive line class this year. 100%. They're jealous of it, okay? But now you got to prove it on the field. And there is no reason, in my opinion, that Stone, Jackson, I mean, PJ, obviously, but out of those listed, Mess, 3 of those should be playing quite a bit. Maybe
and
more.
Jay,
yeah,
the Todd Bates new deal that's being talked about, that's happening. Look, part of that whole class that he was a major reason got signed, they want him coaching those guys for the next 2 to 3 years. And people are going to come after Todd Bates, so OU's got to do what they can to keep him.
I agree.
He's the guy that kind of keeps them together. And, guys, the power line was not this concocted dream. Let's come up with a cool name and make it sound good. They're on paper, they're absolutely legit. Everyone wanted them. It's a power line, and they may all come in immediately and impact this team next year.
Bingo, Bobby. Highest paid defensive line coach in the country now. Now you go out and perform.
I mean, Eric, you can't.
And Eric, listen.
You can get one. I just don't think the 2025 D-line class is as good as the 2024
I think
class.
A lot of it depends on what's coming
nationally. Out. Nationally, Jay.
Yes. Georgia gets it every year.
Okay. No one else does.
And
if you can consistently get 4 stars at the defensive tackle position, you're fine.
Hey,
you're fine getting 4 stars.
Anthony, you're 100% correct. Those are the 2 guys that are the David Stone type guys this year for OU's recruiting class. Yes, they're not defensive line, but
who's
Jonah
the D
Williams,
tackle, Jay?
What?
Lincoln? Who's the D tackle?
Are you talking about Rink? Landon Rink?
Landon Rink.
He's a Texas legacy. I mean, I don't think he's going to end up at OU, but you're right. Jonah Williams and Michael Fasusi. Those are the 2 guys. If you want to bank another top 4 or 5 class, you need those 2 guys. And let me just say this. Jonah Williams, you get Jonah Williams or Michael Fasusi, guys will follow, period.
Yeah.
Just like they did with Stone.
Yep, Eric, there's always injuries, portal, all that stuff, but I can right now expect those guys to be elite. So you're right, though. Things happen.
I watched Okoye in person. I didn't see Stone in person. You saw Okoye too, didn't you?
Yes.
And you know what's funny is
very hard to tell.
Hey, Zadavian Sims is a guy that a lot of people thought OU should have.
Oregon got him, Jay.
Oregon got him, and hey,
not
hurt my feelings.
Did not hurt mine either. That about does it for tonight, Jay.
Yeah, big day tomorrow, guys. Sooner fans, softball fans. It's a massive day. I mean, this day's been a long time coming for them to get this new field and the new stadium. I can't wait to see it. And so, please, I mean, Sooner fans, support them. I know the tickets. I've seen a lot of, like, I don't know if it's complaints or stuff about the way the first weekend's going with the seats. I don't know what's going on, but if you can't get out there, watch it on TV. I mean,
and the gymnastics too. Softball game is 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock, correct?
yeah, the opening ceremonies thing is at 11 o'clock.
And Eric, we can start this tomorrow if you want. We don't need to get into it right now, but I think you meant everyone gets sold on everything OU does. No, I think there's always hesitation on a lot of things, Eric. I think you mean sold, but I'm not sold on everything OU does. I'm just very excited, Eric, that OU landed the guys they got in this class because it's been a few years since they have at that position.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we were wrong on that one, Eric. People were wrong on that one.
Eric, dead wrong.
Injuries.
On Stogner. I thought he would be better. Now, I also will say, I mean, he was a shell of himself. That was a disappointment. I will say that. He was not good. Eric, you're 100% right. He was not good.
Well, DG didn't look for him either, so.
It doesn't matter, Jeremy. Once he caught it, he was going down. I mean.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get a yak. He wasn't getting
Yeah, Malik Autry's a name I've heard too, Mess. But it's just, I don't think the 25 classes is deep at that position. So, I mean, you need to land one.
Nationally, it's not. Nationally, it's not.
You land and rink. It's huge, obviously. But
oh, massive. Hey, and you can get guys out of the portal. Appreciate everyone. Tomorrow's going to be awesome. Can't wait to talk to you all tomorrow night about softball, other things football-wise. But appreciate you guys watching the channel. Share it with someone, please. Do us a favor. Yeah. Like tonight's live. Go talk to one person about the Sooner Surge. Appreciate you all. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks to the press for our dad.